this word this morning. 1 Samuel 10, verses 20 through 24. And God said, So Samuel brought all the tribes of Israel before the Lord, and the tribe of Benjamin was chosen by Lot. Then he brought each family of the tribe of Benjamin before the Lord, and the family of the Matrites was chosen. And finally Saul, son of Kish, was chosen from among them. But when they looked for him, he had disappeared. He was hiding. So they asked the Lord, Where is he? And the Lord replied, He is hiding among the baggage. He's hiding among the equipment. So they found him and brought him out, and he stood head and shoulders above anyone else. Then Samuel said to all the people, This is the man the Lord has chosen as your king. No one in all Israel is like him. And all the people shouted, Long live the king. Them understanding that they have a place in the church. And we just wanted to take this time on this fifth Sunday of June just to encourage you all and just take a moment to spend with you. When we look here, young people, we find that Saul is a young man who has been called by God. And it's around the time where the nation of Israel wanted a king, because all the other neighboring nations had a king, and they wanted a king for themselves. And in spite of God telling them that he would be their king, in spite of God saying he would take care of them, the people still wanted a king. And it was amazing that the people were looking for something that Saul didn't know he had. And you'll find that many times in your young life that you'll find that people have their eyes on you. So many times your teachers are criticizing you. And so many times it seems that young people are only looked at for the negativity. But I want to thank you for doing the good that you're doing. I want to thank you for all the times you do what you're supposed to do without anyone asking you to do it. Because you understand that everyone has their eyes on you, even more so because of who you are. Sometimes people put their eyes on you not to encourage you, but to judge you. They'll look at you and say, they must be a preacher's child. They'll look at you and say, oh, they must be from the less fortunate part of town. But understand this, that no matter how many people have their eyes on you, God has his eye on you. And God wants you to know today, just like Saul, the world has their eyes on you because they're looking for you to be great. They're looking for you to do something that has not been done before. The person you are becoming is exactly what the world needs to see. The person that you're growing into, the young woman that you're becoming, the young man that you're becoming is exactly what the world needs to see. The people were praying and asking God, give us a king, give us someone that will be our leader. And God chose Saul out of everyone else. He wanted him to be the king. But the challenge we find, y'all, is that Saul didn't want what the people wanted for him. Saul had something to do that had never been done before. There had never been a king before Saul. So Saul didn't have someone to show him how to do it. Saul didn't have someone to show him the way. The people wanted something for him that Saul didn't want for himself. And sometimes in your young life, it can seem that mama and daddy and everybody else want something for you, but nobody asks you what it is you want for yourself. Sometimes it feels like everyone else is telling you, oh, you better get good grades, and everyone else is telling you, you better be a good young lady, and everyone else is telling you, you better behave yourself as a young man. But I come to ask you today, what do you want for yourself? Because it's not what we want for you that you will accomplish, but it's the desire itself. I believe in my dreams, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to achieve my dreams. Nothing can stop a young person who has a dream. As long as you have a dream, stop you. To be king, Saul, y'all, had to do something that had never been done before. And the people wanted something for him that he did not want for himself. So, first, you got to understand that you got to have your own dream and understand what you want for yourself. But watch this. The second point, you got to be careful of wanting what your friends have. Because everything your friends have may cost you more trouble than it ever cost them. You can't look at what your friends have. You can't look at what your friends are able to do and say, I want to be able to do like they do, because you are not who they are. Don't compare your freedom to your friends' freedom. Your friends get to stay out all night long, some of them. They get to hang on the phone and on Facebook all night long. But here come mama and daddy in your room. Get off the phone, cut off the light, turn off the TV, and go to bed. You see, some of your friends that you think got more freedom than you, they have less love in their life than you have. And sometimes the ones that seem to have all the freedom are the ones that's looking at you and wish they had a life like yours. All eyes are on you. Why? Because you're blessed. Because you acknowledge God in your life. You have parents that pray for you, and you have a church that love you. Don't want what your friends have. Want what you want for yourself. Are y'all with me? So Saul didn't want what they wanted for him, because sometimes you can get more trouble for what you ask for. Saul had features that made him different than anyone else. The Bible here in 1 Samuel 10 says that Saul stood head and shoulders above everyone else in the nation. He was taller than everyone else. The world is looking for you to be great because all eyes are on you. And what I found interesting with this portion of text is that his features made him different. His features is what they recognize first. And it's interesting to understand that each and every one of you have different features. Wouldn't the world be boring if we all looked alike? It would be a boring place. But God designed each and every one of you to be unique. There's something different that makes you special. There's something different about you that makes you special. And God designed it that way. But as young people, sometimes we look at our features and we find that there's things that we like and there's things about us that we don't like. And those things can cause us to have self-esteem issues. And it can cause us to feel like we're less than everyone else. And that's what was happening with Saul. He was tall, but he was ashamed of being tall. And here he is, this great big old young man that was hiding behind his features. All of us have features that we like and things that we don't like. For instance, me, I like my eyes. I like the fact that I'm in my 40s and I still got hair on my head. I like it. It's great, but I like it. That's a feature about me. But there's things I don't like. I think my smile is crooked. So I try to compensate. When I smile from ear to ear. My whole face open up into a smile. But you have to understand this. That's something that God gave me. And in order for me to get over that, I got to love who I am. And you got to learn that you might not like your nose, you might not like your shoulders, you might not like your hair, but it's exactly what God gave you. And you are beautiful from the inside out. With my crooked smile and all, what I've learned to do is love myself. Are y'all hearing me? If you don't love yourself, then no one else can love you for the person that you are. If you don't love yourself, you can't appreciate anyone else that would try to love you. If you're constantly feeling like you're ugly, if you're constantly feeling like you're not good enough, you will constantly allow people to treat you the way you see yourself. So stop seeing yourself as less than. Stop seeing yourself with your features that you don't like, because it's beautiful. It's something that God created.